Have you ever wondered if you're truly enjoying your golden years to the fullest? Or are you still caught in the cycle of accumulating wealth, working non-stop, or worrying about the future? As we age, many of us fall into habits that may seem sensible but, in reality, can hold us back from living the peaceful and fulfilling life we deserve. In this video, we'll uncover 5 common habits that can prevent you from fully embracing this stage of life and enjoying the fruits of your labor. From financial worries to overworking and the fear of spending, we'll explore why it's crucial to shift our mindset and make small, intentional changes. These habits may be keeping you stuck in a cycle of stress and anxiety, rather than embracing the freedom, joy, and peace of mind that should come with aging. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why these habits are harming your well-being but also gain practical insights on how to adjust them. Whether it's learning to balance work and rest, overcoming the fear of spending, or knowing when to say enough in terms of frugality, this video will give you the tools to reclaim your happiness and live a more purposeful life. You've worked hard for these years. Now it's time to enjoy them without the unnecessary burdens you've been carrying. Stay tuned, and let's make sure the rest of your journey is filled with the richness you've earned. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Let's embark on a journey together, exploring how we can take full control of our future by cultivating healthy and positive habits. The years between 65 and 75 represent a truly transformative and deeply significant period in life. This is the time when retirement has usually already become a reality, and the bustling demands of raising children have faded into the background. Your children are no longer dependent on you, and the role you once held in society is evolving. It can feel like a moment when everything you once knew is shifting, and many start to feel the weight of this change. You may find yourself questioning the very core of your existence. What is your health really like? What does true well-being mean now? How do you maintain your independence? And how can you truly experience the golden years in a way that brings you peace and fulfillment? At this stage in life, you're at a profound crossroads, where your choices will have a lasting impact. On one hand, you begin to feel the physical signs of aging more clearly. The aches, the tiredness, the slower recovery times. But on the other hand, there's still a powerful opportunity to make conscious choices, to adjust your lifestyle in ways that can help you experience an older age that is not only healthy but vibrant. It's a time of reflection, growth, and perhaps even reinvention. When you reach 65, there's a deep awareness that the physical energy that once powered you through life isn't quite what it used to be. You may find yourself moving a little slower, needing more rest, or even feeling like your body isn't as cooperative as it once was. But at the same time, there's a richness in your experience, a wisdom that has been built over decades. You've learned so much, faced challenges, and emerged stronger. There's something incredibly beautiful about reaching this point, yet it is not without its struggles. Your body now asks for more attention, more care. And in these years, the habits you've maintained, whether good or bad, have a profound effect on how well you will age. If, at this stage, you find yourself still clinging to unhealthy habits, like poor eating habits, lack of movement, or ignoring the importance of mental health, the consequences can be much more severe than you might expect. These choices, left unchecked, can snowball into serious health concerns that may rob you of your ability to enjoy the remaining years of your life. Health problems that often begin to appear in this decade, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular issues, or joint pain, are no longer small matters. They're not something you can just ignore, especially if they've been creeping up over time. But the beauty of this stage is that it's also a time when you have the power to change. It's never too late to take control, to make decisions that will guide you toward a healthier and more active lifestyle. The key isn't just about prolonging life. It's about ensuring that the years you have left are filled with purpose, joy, and vitality. It's about achieving a high quality of life, not just a longer one. And one of the most precious things you can have in these years is your independence. I believe that maintaining independence is one of the greatest treasures we can hold on to as we grow older. It's what gives us the freedom to move, to think, and to make choices that reflect who we truly are. However, achieving and maintaining this independence requires intentionality. Between the ages of 65 and 75, the decisions you make will directly influence how well you can preserve your autonomy and live your life with dignity. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Now is the time to focus on nourishing your body in a way that supports your physical health. The food you choose to eat, the exercise you engage in, and how you care for your mind are all crucial in shaping your future. The choices you make in these years are not just about feeling good now, they're about setting yourself up for a fulfilling future. This is a time to reflect on what truly matters, to tend to the relationships that nourish your soul, and to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. It's also the perfect time to rediscover old passions or find new hobbies that inspire you, something that brings a sense of purpose and motivation. It's easy to think that aging simply means a decline in everything, but I truly believe it doesn't have to be that way. Aging, if approached with mindfulness and intention, can be a beautiful chapter, one where we find new strength, deeper wisdom, and joy in the simple moments. Your independence, your health, and the richness of your relationships depend largely on the decisions you make today. Let's make those decisions count, not just for tomorrow, but for the rest of our lives. Habit 1. Stop relying on divination. As we reach the age of 65 and beyond, it's time to take a step back and reevaluate the habits we've held onto, especially those that no longer serve us in the pursuit of a fulfilling, empowered life. One of the most important habits to leave behind is the reliance on divination, esotericism, and all those beliefs that promise to predict the future or offer quick fixes to life's complex problems. There was once a time when it may have felt comforting, perhaps even exciting, to turn to horoscopes, tarot cards, or people who claim to have mystical powers over fate. Yet, as we grow older and wiser, it's vital to recognize that these methods offer nothing more than illusion, empty promises, and an escape from facing reality. I know firsthand how tempting it can be to seek solace in a fortune teller's words or to chase after mystical rituals that offer the hope of answers when the future seems uncertain. But here's the truth. At this stage of life, where time feels even more precious, relying on these methods does nothing but pull you away from the real work at hand, taking full ownership of your life and your decisions. The decisions you make now should be rooted in reality, your own experiences, your knowledge, and the advice of trusted professionals who understand your unique needs, like doctors or financial advisors. The magic lies in making informed choices, not in waiting for a sign from the universe. It's heartbreaking to see so many people continue to put their trust in divination, especially as they age. It creates a false sense of control, making you feel like someone or something else has a handle on your destiny, when the reality is that you alone have the power to shape the life ahead of you. You cannot afford to let superstitions or vague predictions dictate the course of your health, finances, or relationships. The challenges you face in your later years are more tangible and urgent than ever before, and they deserve your undivided attention, clear thinking, and decisive action. Your health, for example, requires the expertise of a doctor, not the whim of a tarot card. Your financial security deserves careful planning and professional advice, not reliance on lucky numbers or promises of wealth that never materialize. There's a certain sadness in relying on these methods as you get older. It's a form of escapism, a way to avoid facing the tough but necessary choices that life presents. Yet, the painful truth is that the longer you lean on divination, the further you drift from the power you have to make real changes. Yes, the fear of uncertainty can be overwhelming. It's natural to want answers when you're feeling lost or unsure. But here's what I've learned. True clarity comes not from looking outside yourself for magical answers, but from gathering information, seeking professional guidance, and making decisions based on facts and experience. Think about the emotional toll this habit can take. Imagine being told that you'll find fortune or that your health will dramatically improve, only to watch those promises fall apart with time. The disappointment can be crushing, leaving you feeling hopeless and emotionally drained. And worse, it may cause you to delay making the changes that are within your control, like taking better care of your health, managing your finances wisely, or addressing relationship issues, simply because you're waiting for something outside yourself to change. Divination may provide a fleeting sense of comfort, a momentary escape from the fear and uncertainty of aging. But this comfort is shallow. It's not real peace. True peace in old age comes from knowing you've made thoughtful, deliberate decisions that align with your life's reality, not from chasing empty promises. The reassurance you seek doesn't lie in a fortune, a charm, or a prediction. It lies within yourself. It comes from the confidence that you've taken the necessary steps to secure your well-being, to plan for the future, and to create stability in your life based on knowledge, experience, and action. As we get older, it's more important than ever to ground ourselves in what we know and what we can control. Whether it's maintaining physical health, managing finances, or nurturing our emotional well-being, these things are best achieved through a proactive, conscious approach. When we stop waiting for external forces to determine the course of our lives, we free ourselves from the grip of uncertainty. The magic that we so often seek is not in the mystical or the magical. It's in our ability to take responsibility for ourselves, to live with purpose, and to trust in our capacity to shape the life we want. And that is where real peace, joy, and fulfillment lie. Habit 2. Avoid risky movements. As we grow older, particularly after the age of 65, we begin to understand, often in a deeper way than we ever imagined, just how fragile life can be. Our bodies, once strong and resilient, start to show signs of wear and tear, and our physical and financial decisions take on greater consequences. At this stage, the habits that once served us well, such as a daring spirit or the willingness to take risks, might no longer be beneficial, but rather a source of potential harm. There's an undeniable wisdom in knowing when to step back, to acknowledge that stability and caution are not signs of weakness, but of strength and self-awareness. We've all heard the stories of bold entrepreneurs or athletes who took risks and found success, and in our younger years, that kind of impulsive risk-taking behavior may have felt exhilarating, even empowering. But now, as we age, that same energy can be a double-edged sword. The thrill of pushing ourselves beyond our limits can quickly turn into regret, as the physical repercussions of a misstep become harder to bounce back from. It's not just about avoiding foolish decisions. It's about choosing wisely, making every move count, and cherishing the health we still have left, for as long as we can. When we talk about risky movements, we're not just referring to the physical, though, of course, that's a major concern. As we age, our bones become more fragile, and our joints don't quite work the way they used to. Balance, once instinctive, may become shaky, and a slip or fall can easily turn into a major injury that can take weeks, months, or even longer to recover from. I've seen it happen. People who, in their 60s and 70s, try to keep up with their younger selves, pushing themselves to do things that they simply shouldn't anymore. Whether it's engaging in high-impact sports, going for long, strenuous walks without proper rest or preparation, or just trying to keep up with the physical demands they once had, the risks involved are far too great. The body, as much as we want it to be, is not invincible. And unfortunately, the consequences can be devastating, altering the quality of life in ways we never expect. I can't stress enough how important it is to be kind to your body, especially now. The youthful bravado we once carried, thinking we could handle anything, has to make way for a more thoughtful, deliberate approach. I've learned this the hard way myself. What felt like a simple task not too long ago, now carries with it the awareness of potential harm. It's crucial to acknowledge the limitations that come with age, not as a defeat, but as an act of love and respect for ourselves. Instead of risky activities that jeopardize your well-being, consider embracing gentler alternatives that still offer physical benefits but without the heavy toll on your body. Walking, swimming, and yoga are perfect examples of low-impact activities that keep you moving, stretch your muscles, and promote flexibility, all while protecting your joints and bones. These activities allow us to maintain our independence, to feel alive, and to experience movement, but in a way that nourishes and preserves our health. I find peace in these slower, more mindful movements. They may not carry the excitement of a high-risk adventure, but they hold something far more precious: longevity, health, and the ability to enjoy life for years to come. So, let go of the need to prove something to yourself or anyone else through risky behavior. Instead, embrace stability, focus on the habits that nurture and protect you, and remember that the greatest adventure you can embark on now is one of thoughtful, intentional care for your body and your future. Habit 3. Accumulating wealth for old age. For many of us, the habit of saving and accumulating wealth for old age is ingrained in our lives from the very beginning. It's an instinct, especially when we're younger and in our prime, focused on our careers and building our families. For decades, we have worked tirelessly, often with a single-minded goal in mind: accumulating enough money to ensure our future. We save for retirement, set aside funds to support our children and grandchildren, and build a financial cushion to protect ourselves from life's uncertainties. The idea of wealth accumulation becomes a part of our identity, a way of ensuring that we can live comfortably and without worry as we grow older. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. However, as the years go by, particularly between the ages of 65 and 75, we may start to feel a shift, an unsettling realization that the things we once valued about money and wealth may no longer hold the same importance. It's a bittersweet moment when we begin to question whether all the effort we've put into saving and accumulating wealth has truly served us, or if it's become a weight, holding us back from enjoying the very life we've worked so hard to build. There is a profound emotional shift that occurs when we stop focusing on accumulating wealth and start focusing on living. We've spent so many years obsessing over future security, and now it's time to ask ourselves, what are we saving for? Sure, financial security in our later years is important, but at some point, the constant accumulation of wealth can feel like an invisible chain, weighing us down, preventing us from fully experiencing the present, and from savoring the rewards of a lifetime of hard work. The simple joy of spending money on things that please us, whether it's a special trip, a hobby we've always wanted to explore, or a gift for ourselves, becomes almost taboo. The instinct to keep saving, even when we've more than enough, can be paralyzing, driven by the fear that we might one day face some unexpected financial emergency. I believe that as we age, we must make a mental shift, one that acknowledges that living fully is just as important as planning wisely. It's not about being reckless with our finances, but about learning to use the wealth we've accumulated to improve our quality of life. It's about finding the courage to spend on experiences and joys that bring peace and happiness, instead of hoarding resources out of fear of what might happen in the future. Our financial priorities change as we age. The large expenses of raising children, paying off mortgages, and maintaining a high-paying career often give way to more immediate concerns like health, well-being, and personal contentment. And that's okay. Life is meant to be lived in the present, not in a constant state of preparation for a future that we may never get to experience. The fear of spending money, particularly on healthcare, can be real, and it's understandable. Health problems can come suddenly and unexpectedly, and the costs associated with long-term care can feel overwhelming. But this fear shouldn't paralyze us from enjoying the present. Yes, it's important to have a financial safety net, but not to the extent that we neglect the happiness that comes from using those resources in ways that enhance our lives right now. I've come to believe that the key is balance. With the help of a trusted financial advisor, we can navigate this delicate balance, ensuring that our future needs are taken care of while also allowing ourselves the freedom to enjoy the fruits of our labor today. Financial prudence doesn't mean depriving ourselves of joy. It means making wise decisions that enrich our lives without unnecessarily tightening the purse strings. Letting go of the compulsion to accumulate wealth doesn't mean we should live recklessly or without thought. Instead, it's about using the resources we have intelligently and intentionally. It's about choosing quality over quantity, whether that's in the experiences we pursue or in the relationships we cultivate. Often, in our quest for new emotions or to escape the boredom of old age, we make impulsive decisions, like diving into unhealthy relationships or situations that end up draining us emotionally. In the desire for companionship or a sense of belonging, we may make choices that, in hindsight, were harmful to our emotional health. As we age, loneliness is a genuine challenge, but it should never be a justification for putting ourselves into situations that leave us feeling empty, anxious, or even worse, trapped. Instead of rushing into risky or fleeting connections, it's far more fulfilling to carefully curate the relationships and experiences that add value to our lives. True companionship comes from those who respect and cherish us, not from those who only serve as distractions from deeper feelings of isolation. So, in this phase of life, let us choose wisely, nurturing bonds that lift us rather than drag us down. The goal is not to avoid loneliness at all costs, but to surround ourselves with those who truly understand and appreciate our worth. In my opinion, prudence in our later years doesn't mean resigning ourselves to a life of passivity or dullness. On the contrary, it's about finding joy in the little things, in the quiet moments that can bring immense satisfaction. We don't need to chase extreme thrills to feel alive. The beauty of life at this age lies in embracing what's meaningful and sustainable. Safety doesn't have to be synonymous with boredom or a lack of excitement. It's simply a tool that enables us to continue enjoying life, without compromising our physical, emotional, and financial well-being. As we grow older, it becomes more crucial than ever to maintain balance. A life where we make decisions with care, where we find joy in simplicity, and where we avoid temptations that promise excitement but lead to greater stress or harm. Aging isn't just about enduring. It's about thriving, in a way that aligns with our values, brings peace to our hearts, and allows us to enjoy the beautiful moments we have left. Habit 4. Don't overwork. As we reach the later stages of life, around 65, 75, or beyond, it's an essential, even urgent, time to pause and reflect on the role that work plays in our lives. For so many of us, work has been the heartbeat of our existence for decades. It's not just a means of financial survival, but it's been tied deeply to our identity, our sense of purpose, and our emotional worth. We may have defined ourselves by the titles we held, the success we achieved, or the security we built for ourselves and our families. But as we step into this precious, often quieter chapter of life, continuing to overwork can quietly steal away the peace and fulfillment we so deserve. At this stage, it's more than just a matter of physical fatigue. Overworking can lead to a slow erosion of our mental and emotional well-being. While some might find joy in staying active and engaged in the workforce, it's important to recognize that the balance we seek in our later years requires much more than just productivity. This is the time to indulge in the beauty of rest, the joy of meaningful connections with loved ones, and the simple pleasure of doing what brings us peace. We've worked hard, so why continue to burn out in the very years when our well-being and inner peace should take center stage? I believe that the habit of overworking is deeply ingrained in our culture, and it's especially powerful as we near retirement. For decades, we've been conditioned to measure success by our work ethic, by the hours we've put in, and by the material wealth we've accumulated. Our worth was once tied to what we produced and achieved. But when we enter the later stages of life, clinging to that same mindset can prevent us from embracing the freedom we've worked so tirelessly to earn. Life after 65 should be a period of reflection, renewal, and slowing down, not just a continuation of the relentless pace we've been accustomed to. The truth is that overworking in old age often stems from a deep, sometimes unconscious fear. The fear of not having enough. The fear of what might happen if we stop working, especially as medical bills and long-term care costs loom large. It's understandable to want to feel financially secure, but the question must be asked: are we overworking out of necessity or out of habit? So many of us carry the weight of guilt or a sense of obligation when we consider stepping back from the workforce. But here's the hard truth: our productivity, our busyness, should never be the sole measure of our value in our later years. The meaning of life in this stage doesn't have to come from what we do, but from how we choose to live, finding balance, embracing rest, and cherishing the moments that truly matter. For some, Work becomes a refuge, a familiar haven in the face of retirement's daunting silence. For so many years, work was the center of our universe, the place where we felt needed, valuable, and purposeful. The thought of walking away from that can be terrifying. The anxiety that comes with that loss of identity can lead us to grasp onto work for as long as possible. But the reality is this: life doesn't end when work ends. There are countless other ways to find meaning and purpose, whether through family, community, hobbies, or learning new skills. The beauty of old age lies in the freedom to reinvent ourselves, discover new passions, and experience life without the pressure to constantly produce. When we let go of the belief that work is the only way to be valuable, we open the door to something much richer and more fulfilling. We allow ourselves to step into the serenity that comes with slowing down and savoring the simple pleasures of life. Life in our later years can, and should, be a time for emotional renewal, for connecting deeply with the ones we love, and for rediscovering what brings us joy. We've spent so many years working for our future, it's time to live for the present. Habit 5. Don't be too frugal. As we grow older, there's an undeniable urge to tighten the purse strings, to be ultra-cautious with every penny, as though it might be our last. Many of us, in our golden years, become consumed by the need to save, often to the point of extreme frugality. On the surface, this habit seems like wisdom, an effort to ensure a secure and comfortable future. But in reality, it can be a subtle thief, robbing us of the very joy, freedom, and experiences that our later years should offer. It's a tendency born from concern, fear of uncertainty, and the desire to protect what we've worked so hard for. Yet, when taken to an extreme, it has the power to strip life of its pleasures, leaving us with an empty, cautious existence, rather than one rich in moments that bring us true happiness. I completely understand the desire to save, especially as we face the realities of aging, rising medical costs, the possibility of long-term care, and the ever-present uncertainties of life. But here's the painful truth: constantly worrying about the future can overshadow the present. How many of us have worked tirelessly throughout our lives, saved diligently, only to find ourselves hesitant to spend a little on something that could brighten our days? That trip we've always dreamed of taking, the dinner at a restaurant we've been meaning to visit, or the simple luxury of a little indulgence that reminds us we are deserving. In the blink of an eye, these opportunities slip away, and we're left wondering why we didn't enjoy what we had while we still could. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. When we live in a constant state of fear, driven by an overwhelming desire to save, we forget that our golden years are meant to be enjoyed. They are not merely an extension of our working years, filled with responsibilities, caution, and sacrifice. They should be a time of reflection, of reward, of savoring the fruit of a lifetime of hard work. After all, the purpose of saving wasn't just to stash away money for some distant unknown. It was to have the freedom to live comfortably, embrace new experiences, and find joy in the simple luxuries life has to offer. What happens, though, when frugality becomes our mainstay? We become prisoners to our anxieties, unable to let go of the fear that we may not have enough for a future that's still years away. We begin to deny ourselves the very pleasures that could make these years truly worthwhile. The truth is, as we reach the age of 65, 70, or beyond, we don't have endless time to put off living. We must grasp the opportunity to truly embrace life in all its fullness. We no longer have the luxury of endless tomorrows. So why waste today worrying about what we might or might not need in a future that is not guaranteed? There's beauty in moderation, yes, but there is also beauty in living fully. If we've spent a lifetime accumulating wealth, a bit of indulgence isn't a crime, it's an act of self-love. You've earned the right to enjoy your savings, to spend without guilt, to treat yourself to what brings you happiness. Life is fragile and fleeting. We can't afford to let fear control our every decision. Why not savor this time of freedom? Why not take that trip, buy that book, or finally indulge in that hobby we've put off for years? These moments may be small, but they are what makes life truly rich. Aging is a time of reflection, but it's also a time for new experiences. It's a time to savor the little things, to embrace the peace of knowing that we have lived well and that our time is precious. If we reach our 70s and beyond and still feel the heavy weight of frugality, of constant saving and restriction, we may find that we've missed the very point of these years. It's not about accumulating more, but about being present, enjoying what we've built, and living in the now, without the constant burden of fear about what lies ahead. As we reflect on our habits, it's crucial to let go of what no longer serves us. We've lived so long trying to accumulate wealth, but now, in these later years, it's not about survival. It's about thriving. Our bodies may slow down, and our energy may not be what it once was, but our hearts, our spirits, and our wisdom are richer than ever. We deserve to experience life in all its glory, without the shadow of guilt or worry. So, I challenge you to ask yourself, are your habits serving your happiness or limiting it? If frugality is keeping you from experiencing the joys of life, now is the time to reassess. It's not about making radical changes, but about finding balance, allowing yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor without the anxiety of what might come tomorrow. Let go of the need to hold on so tightly, and embrace the luxury of living freely. As we come to the end of today's video, I hope it sparks some reflection on how we approach our golden years. We've touched on the importance of balance. How, while saving and planning for the future is essential, we shouldn't let fear or frugality steal the joy of the present. Our later years should be a time of savoring what we've worked for, enjoying the rewards of our hard-earned journey, and living with intention, freedom, and peace of mind. So, let's hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're going to bring into your life moving forward? Perhaps it's the idea of letting go of unnecessary worries about the future or embracing more of life's little pleasures. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with someone who might benefit from these insights, and of course, subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Your support helps us keep making videos that can make a real difference in people's lives. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourself.